because we're all in this race together. It doesn't matter. Look around you. Look at the different elements of humanity we have right here in this room, and we're all working together for one cause of moving people forward and being there with that hand up. I know Reverend Jesse Jackson is quoted in our stuff. I don't know that he originated it, but he sure did make it popular because the man knows how to get media. We say Jesse Jackson knows how to get media. I'm learning. And someday I'll get all that media too, but for a positive attention, not necessarily a negative, and for creating bridges and bringing people together. Like the article that I just wrote for Thrive Detroit. I'm real excited that Delphia Simmons has given me the opportunity to become a regular contributor. Those of you that don't know, Thrive Detroit is called the newspaper for the homeless. But it's really not a newspaper for them to read, although they do read it, but it's for people that are unhoused and unemployed, that they can have dignity and be entrepreneurs. Because they get those papers, she'll give you the first set of papers, say 10 or something for free, and you go out and get to sell them for $1, and after that you only have to pay $0.25 per publication, and you get to go sell it for $1. That's a 75 cents per paper profit. One of our guys that comes through our line tells me he makes up to $200 when that comes out in the beginning of the month. And so, you know, that's the entrepreneurial spirit. Commissioner Colleen and I were having a discussion with the whole table over there saying, you know, that's kind of what's got to rise up. That's what's got to rise up is we got to think outside the box. We can't depend on the big companies, on the big organizations anymore, but we have to start really building that NCN, as I want to coin and brand it. You all can use it. I really don't care. I think there's a way to make money, but if there is, I'm going to find it. But NCN stands for a Neighborhood Community Network, because that is your residents, housed and unhoused, your organization, your churches, your education, and your businesses, all working together to create that network that keeps the community safe. And by doing it in a smaller cause, individuals working together, it reduces the need for gas to be able to get to the other side of the city because you suddenly have the services within your community. You start having those businesses that are offering the services that now you have to go north of 8 Mile for. Come on, hello. No offense to anybody who lives outside the city because I got a lot of people sitting around here that do. But, you know, I like Detroit. I live within the city limits. And, you know, it's like I love my city and it breaks my heart to see some of what's happened in my city. My parents didn't used to give me the car because they knew I was going to drive down Grand River every time I came in town when I was living out of state for a little while, and carjacking had started, and they're like, I'm not giving you the car. And it's because I said when Grand River changes, that's when the city really is going underdeveloped. Grand River is the main thoroughfare, goes all the way out to Lansing, and we should be doing something with it, not just the downtown area. Okay, I'm off my phone. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to honor some of those people that are alongside of us today. We have some organizations and that come alongside of us. Not over here. And I'm going to quickly go through. Yes, that'd be wonderful. If I could have my Vince instead of Anna.
Lovely assistant Vince.
I was bad a couple weeks ago.
This is David McGuire, one of my board members, you guys, and I really like.
Hey, David.
He jumped right in.
Hey!
He jumped right in, and he came at the introduction and invitation of Eric Kelly, who is also one of my board members. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Aside from the very beginning. Yes,
that's right.
Eric's been with us a long time. And then we have Joanne Klosnick, who is also a member of our board. And but I didn't get you all awards. We have an award here for I'm going to give you the award. I have an award here for the Chinese Gospel Church Youth Group. They're out from the suburbs, and they, along with the group that was out there today, and that's probably why they didn't all come back this evening. Oh, here they are. The Impact Youth Group. The Impact Youth Group comes out almost every second Saturday, and they bring all the food. They pay for all the food. They bring their own styrofoam products and everything. And they came at the time when suddenly Dwight Rome, who's my outreach director over here, Dwight, give a wave.
Yeah.
I'm driving up to the place and we're on the phone and Dwight says, you know, we've been talking about this, we want to come out every Saturday. And I'm like, are you sure about this? Because David Kalita, the co-founder, has wanted to go out every Saturday since we began, and I'm like, you can't tax your volunteers too much now. We got to be careful and make sure we don't wear everybody thin. And about that time, Dwight says, you know, especially during the winter, we need to do that. So I hung up the phone and I thought, oh, Lord Jesus, I'm going to have to cook a meal 3 weekends to 4 weekends out of the month. And that's when Impact came on board. That day they were there. They were an answer to immediate prayer for help. They were there that day and they said, we want to take over one Saturday a month. And they've been coming out for now, what, 2 years? Oh, sorry, 2 years. 2 years we've been coming out every Saturday.
That's great.
These two youth groups, I have to tell you, they came out, if you go to our Facebook site, they came out in the middle of what's called the 30-hour hunger. They were fasting for 30 hours for a move of God in their life and in their community, and these kids were out serving people food out in the park in the middle of their fast. And that to me is really, you know, that people can say whatever they want about our next generation, but it's kids like this and kids like I have in the back of the room there with putting news first. There's young people like that I'm proud to call our next generation of leaders. I'm proud to call them our next generation of leaders because they're already stepping up to the plate in their youth, and they're going to put to shame some of the adults in the and the other one, unfortunately, probably is not able to come. His plate is very full, you guys, is Reverend John Stone of Turning Point Ministries. Reverend Stone sits on our board and is looking at having to step down from that position because his wife is critically ill, and they really are looking for a miracle. She has spinal cord injury, and so sometimes things aren't happening below the cervix down, and it causes a lot of problems and things like that. And he's committed to her first, and then his ministry second, and of course we're a part of that, but you know, we understand that, and that's why he's not here today, but we want to definitely, because he believes in giving a handout. It's not about preaching. Those of us that know us, we're not a faith-based organization, but my faith has very deep roots. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't still be here. But I know that that's the call, but it's about showing God's love in action. Your word can fall on deaf ears, and people just think it's another blah, 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 like, you know, the Charlie Brown blah, 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 blah. Is that what adults usually sound like? Yeah. Hey, we're being real here. That's all we're being. It's real here. And you know what? When you do something in action, it speaks louder than any word you can say. And that's why we go out there and we reach out in love to our fellow human beings. Because that's what they are. It doesn't matter if they're living in a shelter. It doesn't matter if they're living in an abandonment. It doesn't matter if they're living in one of those, bridge lofts. It just, those things don't matter. You know, we're all here on this earth together for a purpose. And I always tell everybody, if you woke up this morning, God's got a purpose for you breathing. Your job is to find out what it is. But I love and appreciate Reverend John Stone. You can give him a round of applause. have come out and time again, now that Deacon Willis has retired, he says he only retired so he could go work full-time for God. And so that's a good thing, because now he not only comes out with us whenever we give him a call, but he also helps Bizzy Lizzy's community outreach when they churches, you guys, are coming out without preaching because they believe, they've grabbed a hold of that mission that it's more important that your actions speak louder than words. Anybody who happens to read the Bible, check Isaiah 58, and you'll see what kind of fast. It's not necessarily about going without food.
Amen.
That's right. And I just got a message today, and she's having some difficulties. Her sugar's all out of whack. And I have to tell you, the Lakes Community Church, I want to tell a little story about the lady that is a part of this. And my family knows this lady from way back when we were kids. Laura McAlpine and I actually went to grade school together. And how odd that Facebook, all these years later, there was 40 years that Laura McAlpine and I didn't necessarily, we weren't talking, we weren't chatting, and yet our lives were so parallel that when we got together, we were just like, whoa, this is too bizarre. And her church had a split in it, and she became the head of the outreach that they started doing. She comes all the way from Walled Lake. Her church is out in Walled Lake, and they come down, and she's there, or somebody else. Once a month, they took over the first Saturday, and again, we don't pay any food. They bring the meal completely. They bring a whole lot of other things. They donated to us. They donated Christmas. They donated to the bags of hope.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Stuff because that's their heart is about giving to the community, and that's why we wanted to honor them with a hand-up award. Yes.
The church doesn't have a building.
Isn't that powerful? Did you hear what Dwight just said, you guys? Their church doesn't even have a building yet.
Wow.
Wow.
Hey, well, they're right in with my nomad, my church group organization, for those that don't know, I was ordained about 2 years ago, and our church group is called Messianic Nomads, and it's the church without walls to go where God calls.
That's right.
Because it's not about a building and making people come to you. That's not how the one I follow did it.
We learned that in Sunday school.
That's right. You're exactly right. We sure
Open
did.
up and see all the people.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how the first century church was.
That's right. We ran in homes out in the street.
That's right.
But if we could give the Lakes Community Church a big round of
Yes.
My sugar is just so off whack right now that I need to stay close to home, and I can appreciate that. I'd rather she stayed close to home this one night and was able to continue her mission and her ministry. Now we're getting down to the next three organizations that are actually here. And I have a hand-up award being presented to Detroit Southwest Pride, and if I could have a representative from that organization, or all of you that are here,
Can you hold it?
those photos
Hold it
going
and
on.
video it. Yep.
But Detroit Southwest Pride came out. Actually, John was out cruising around looking for homeless people because Uni had joined with them and was collecting blankets and stuff during the winter time. And I wasn't there, and he stumbled upon Elias. Elias Lopez is working today. Oh, Dwight. Sorry, he stumbled upon Dwight. And Dwight's a pretty big guy to stumble upon. I wouldn't want to stumble into him in a dark alley, though. Whoa! Whoa! And oh, he knows I know that. But he came back the next week to talk to me, and he says, hey, you know, what are you guys doing here, blah, blah, we got a bunch of blankets and stuff like that. And I have to tell you, the crew from Southwest that came out, some of them are here with Detroit Southwest Pride, some with the next organization that was a split off from them, and it was just like, whoa, whoa, I remember you come bounding out with your little cap on and everything, you know, and they're like, yeah, we got, you know, like, oh my gosh, they had like 3 carloads of stuff, and I'm just like, whoa, they just started pouring out of their cars, pulling blankets, pulling coats, and it so reminded, they have the gloves. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of where we started, way back in 2000. Because we started from a clean and sober group called Fellowship Players Association, who had an open mic, and we collected coats and blankets and things like that, and they used to just give them to my church I went to at 7 in Gratiot. Well, one year they said, you know, most of these recovering dope-fiend alcoholics like myself said, we want to go do this ourselves. We want that instant gratification, we think. And when they went out, it was like, I had the minister take us, he'd been out on the streets, it was like, whoa. Next year, it's time again for the annual blanket call, and I get the call and they say, you know, can we just do it, you know, the church guy was really nice, but can we just go out and do this by ourselves? And that's where the Ark Association was able to do it. And so we showed up that day, throwing soup up on the hood of my car with sandwiches and boxes, and sizing people up. Dan Doyle, our original, very first outreach director that passed, recently named the organization, the building after him, he was out there, if you guys will notice here, he has a trach in his throat, and he was still out there serving the homeless, battling throat cancer. Wow. And that guy knew what it meant about turning his life around, because he used to be an outlaw biker that was drunk. That's how he got his name Wrong Way. Because he was coming from California, headed to Michigan, got off to get gas, and wound up back in California. that trip. And we teased him mercilessly because we got a photo of him trying to put this coat on this old lady, right? Ethel was her name. She came out every year. She lives over there in the corner. She might be passed by now. That was a long time ago. And we all teased him like, Dan, what are you trying to rip off that old lady's coat for? I was trying to put it on, and we all would be like, we know it, but we were ripping them, you know? And that's what you guys, when you guys all poured out of those vehicles with all that stuff, it gave me such a flashback and a remembering of where we started. And so, be sure and get it closer up. No, you're going to have to probably come closer than that.
I got the large one on.
Oh, okay, never mind. Never mind, let me leave it to the right person for this job. Come on up here. Well, maybe we can have a fundraiser so I can get that Harley fixed and you can use it. And the next organization was a branch off of that time, and Lizzy wasn't able to make it that time. And she came the next time, and she was like, ding, 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 ding. I was like, oh yeah, we connected her in. Very much like most of you volunteers can remember your first time experience, and you've been forever hooked. That's why you're still here. In that right machine. And so she's like, hey, I want to do this on Sunday. I got lots across from my house. Let's do it, you know. And so within a matter of weeks, next thing you know, we've got Bizzy Lizzy community outreach, serving food and clothing. We gave them their first thing of styrofoam, and she's just been tearing it up ever since. The whole group is here. They were out yesterday giving bags of hope to DRRN women from the Genesis 2 shelter. They did a beautiful Mother's Day event for them, and they were doing a sting cleanup. Detroit Southwest Pride does those kind of items as well. So I'm telling you, East Side, we gotta do something.
Represent.
So if everybody from Bizzy Lizzy Community Outreach, you guys come on up and
Come on, you guys.
Why do I have this? Get up there.
No, I got it on video. You got that?
I love you. I never seen this girl in a dress and all this, and now I know why her husband's sending for her, burning up the video line. I'm like, dang, oh my gosh, that's Lizzy. Woo! Like, you know what you tell me? I got it. The Ark Association is acting as Bizzy Lizzy's community outreach fiduciary until they go ahead and make that determination of moving forward into their own 501c3 and all those other good things. I said, get it going.